Okay, people, so it's August 4th. I'm done the canning. I'm not going to do the zucchini relish simply because my middle daughter told me that when my landlady's daughter was here, apparently the city came by later and went around the yard taking pictures. So now they're targeting my whole yard again, people. This is what they did in 2015 after Uncle John went missing. They targeted compost boxes and children's toys that I brought, was bringing in from Delta, and then they went about and just carried on with whatever. So anyway, now that I'm done satisfying Andre's emotional needs with the blackberries, because he wanted to pick blackberries and he wanted me to make the jam, so now that that's done and I made a few pickles, I won't bother with the relish. And what we're going to do here now is we're going to continue, before I got interrupted, putting in the subfloor today into the small playhouse here. We're going to finish that little subfloor, and we're going to build in a frame around the door. And this is my daughter's boyfriend, so he's going to help me. He's the 10-man crew that's helping me to finish the shed. And then because my neighbor gave me that vinyl, we're going to lay down the vinyl today. In addition to, we're going to go to the other side of the house. We're going to straighten it out, and we're going to take out what's not good anymore and replace it with better pieces of wood that we're not going to need for the shed, because I still have to do compost repairs and that type of thing. And then anything miscellaneous, well, that's no good. We'll see where it goes. Hold on. So as you can see, what my neighbor is giving me in terms of building materials, right? So some of this stuff is a good piece of 4x4. It's like long, it's like 12 feet long, 14 foot long, right? But with the city on its attack, I don't know, people. Okay, people. In all the years that I've lived here, I have never seen this grape plant produce grapes like this. Never mind on this side. Like this grape plant is infested with grapes, people. It really likes, well, I'm falling into the compost here. It really likes what I did. They're like everywhere. Look at this. There's more grapes in here than on their main vine. They're like everywhere. Look at this. They're like everywhere in here, people. Oh my God. They really like this location the way look, oh my God. Oh my God, I have never seen this before, people. This is, oh my God, do you see this? They're not ripe yet, but oh my God. They love this compost box. This one doesn't even have that amount of grapes. Anyway, I'm just picking off some grape leaves here for my canning, right? I'm going to show you in a minute, but I wanted to show you that. Okay, people, same day, August 3rd, 2017. As you can see, I'm starting late. It's like 9 o'clock at night. Right? I need these.
I'll just take one.
Okay? So I'm just going to sprinkle some salt on them and just let them sit like that for a few hours, right?
The salt?
No, the different salt. Okay, don't interrupt, please. And here's a little bit of dill from my yard. I want to make it really dilly. So I'm going to get some, what do you call that too?
Salt.
Garlic and some peppercorns. And I'll probably put just a little bit of pickling spice in there, right? So hold on. Okay, so here I am. I'm using that, this thing again. It's like a hand sieve or something, right? I got 8 cups in there. Whatever this is fairly thick now. It's getting thick. You can see how thick that is, right? Okay, because it's, I'm at the end. I could keep going for a little while longer, but I'm not going to, right? And then I've got a big pot here. And I still got that. And I still got that. Okay, so this might be a little bit too much, but I'm just going to cook it a little longer at a lower speed, right? like lower heat. So we got 20 cups of this stuff, right? And so far 5 cups of sugar. And we'll stir that around. I got it on 7. So I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to let it boil down, right? Because it's going to want to foam up. And this is 20 cups is a lot for this pot, right? But I don't have a lot of time, and I still have a lot of blackberries to do. So that's another batch right there. Right? This one's more like a jelly. This one will be more like a jelly, right? Because of all these seeds, which, oh, I don't know if I'll dehydrate them. I probably will, and then, because I'm thinking they might be good in crackers or something, right? I have other dehydrated ones around the house, but I don't always get time to make the things that I want to make, in part because my kitchen is kind of small, right? And I'm always busy, but anyway, you can see what I'm doing here. It's now 11:30 at night. There goes that flashy light again. It's funny, the camera can pick it up, but my eyes can't pick it up. And sometimes it does it, and sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, back in the day, when Uncle John was around, he used to come out and have coffee with me, right? Keep me company, right? I'd work in the yard, do whatever, and come in. When he was younger, he used to do the dishes. That was really helpful. That's why my kids are so spoiled with dishes, because he never allowed them to do dishes. I used to tell him, leave the dishes, let them pile up, let the kids do it. I'd tell the kids to do it. Uncle John would get up in the morning and do the dishes. And look at today, my kids don't like to do dishes. So anyway, what you want to do is it's the foam, the bubbles, right, that will make it boil over. Now, mind you, there's only 5 cups of sugar in there. I think I'm going to put the other. I'm going to put 10 cups of sugar to 20 cups of juice and berry. Right? You can see that's pretty runny. Right now it's cooking off. Right? I've got it at 8. So, and I keep stirring it. Right? Because when it starts to boil, it's going to start to foam up again. It's not boiling yet, but as you're stirring, what you're doing is you're breaking up the bubbles. Right, you can see the steam is now starting to get hotter, right? So pretty soon it's going to start boiling, but I'm not going to boil it on high. I'm going to boil it on 8 or 9, depending on where I get it. And then, what do you call it? Just cook it a little longer, right, to thicken it up. Okay, so we're still on 8 with the heat here. And as you can see, it's starting to bubble, right? And as it's bubbling, if you haven't seen my last video, the foam will come up. But if you keep stirring, you're breaking up the bubbles, and it won't come up as fast. You might have to blow on it a little bit just to bring down those bubbles, right? Now, because there's 20 cups of berries in there, I'm not going to turn up the heat too much more, rather than just let it cook for a little longer. But I'm going to stay here and continue to stir it, because it will come up real fast if you just leave it alone, right? It's not worth the chance. So hold on. Okay, so it's going pretty good. I got it on 9. I had to bring it up and down. As you can see, it's already starting to thicken up again, right? And the bubbles are pretty much gone. So we're going to try the plate trick, right? Just give it a few minutes to cool, and then run your finger through it, right? Stir it. Again, when it starts spitting more, then you know it's getting done. It's not spitting very much, it's just starting to spit. Okay, it's just starting to spit, you can see, right? So, hold on. So I've decided to not waste it. I've decided to dehydrate it. And looking for a recipe, I came across a rice cracker. So maybe I'll put that in a rice cracker or something. We'll just, like I said, I have some of that somewhere in a jar. This time I maybe dry it and then I'll just kind of like break it up in a food processor or something instead of in pieces. And this is almost done now. Wasn't so bad. You can see, almost, not quite. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. It's all right. You can see, spreadable. I don't think it's going to get much harder than that in terms of turning into a candy. All right, that looks pretty good. Tastes pretty good. It's a little tart because there's not that much sugar in it, so it's really good because the berries were really good. So put the lids on and then water bath it for what, 15 minutes, right? And I'm going to use the same pot for the next batch, and now it's going 1 o'clock in the morning. Is that thing still moving? It is. Okay, so we're at 6 pint size blackberry jelly for the most part, right, in the canner. 15 minutes. Put the lid on. When you turn it off, leave the lid on for 5 minutes before you take off the lid. Otherwise, if you take it off too fast, you break the pressure, and depending on what it is, if it's liquid, it will come gushing out. You have to give it 5 minutes to let the pressure go down before you take off the lid. Just remember that. This is like almost 21 cups of berries mashed, right, for the most part. So I am just going to start cooking it on low while that's cooking, because I still have to wash another, well, 7 jars anyway. Always better to be safe, right? Before, and then boil them for 10 minutes before I can use them. So as they're boiling, that's when I'll turn up the heat on that. So what I want to do here is just get it coming. I want to do what I did before. Bring it up, start getting rid of these bubbles as it's getting, you know, as you see it starting to rise. Turn down the heat, right? Stir it around, break up the bubbles. Then you can turn the heat back up, stir it around, break up the bubbles to the point where you can actually keep the heat up without any bubbles coming up, right? That's how I'm cooking such a large batch in this pot, right? Without it overflowing. Okay, so this is where I'm at. I'm boiling a second batch of jars here, just getting it started. Once they start boil, you boil for 10 minutes. I already said that. This, I brought it to a boil, turned it back down, and then I added 10 cups of sugar. I've got it at 8.5 right now. What I want to do is bring it to a boil because the foam's going to come back more than likely, right? And it's going to start to rise. So you keep stirring so that eventually all the air and the bubbles and everything is gone, right? And as you can see, you have to really pay attention because it's very high to the top. This is 20 cups, almost 21 cups of berries, right? Yeah, no kidding. Okay. It's 20 after 4 in the morning, people. So this is 6 jars of it's from the stove, right? It's been so hot, and with the fires up in Kamloops, the air has been really hazy. Anyway, 6 blackberry jellies and 7 canned, although this one here I'm not too sure about because you can see the lid is kind of warped here, so it's hard to say. Even the rim looks warped. Anyway, this one here I didn't can. I just put it in a jar. So those 2 are just jammed to go in the fridge. One can go downstairs. This one, the rim kind of went funny, and I can see the lid is kind of crooked, so I doubt this one is sealed. But other than that, that's not too bad. And then tomorrow, I guess, I'll try and do these pickles before I go outside. And I'm not going to worry about the zucchini right now. Okay, so not all is lost. Those keys go for that lock, which I just unlocked. And the reason I locked this one, people, was to make sure that my bowls didn't end up downstairs, basically. I was getting tired of my, like I said, dishes going downstairs and not being looked after correctly. And these are really, really nice bowls, right? What I'm looking for is a measuring cup, because that's another thing that goes missing all the time, right? So I have to, I mean, like, really seriously, who locks up their measuring cups? So anyway, you can see I've got some extra ones in here, so I'm okay. And it looks like I even got these little ones in here too, right? So there you go, people. There's just one or two keys that in my travels. There you go. There's another couple in here, something, right? I try and keep outdoor, outside, downstairs. All right, what's this one? Inside, basement. That door's broken, needs to be fixed. Hold on a minute. Okay, so as you can see, it's the next day, what, 4th of August. It's like going on 3:30 in the afternoon. I was up until 4 last night doing this jam, but I'm glad I did it, right? It's comfort food for my grandson. Like I said, I had some already, you know, in food storage. Not so much the jelly. That's why I kind of focused on the jelly the first time around, because I'm a little short on the jelly. But anyway, that's not bad. That's 6 cans jarred, plus I got 2 pint full in the fridge, plus a half a pint. And one of those full ones are going to go downstairs, right? And because I am limited for time, honestly, people, I'm not very good at pickling pickles yet. I'm going to try something different. It has been determined, though, that we like salt in our pickles. Because one time I omitted the salt by accident, but then I've seen videos where you can make saltless pickles, but they just don't have the bite, right, when you're looking for a pickle. And also, too, I want more of a bite, right? So what I'm doing is I'm doing 4 cups of vinegar. I'm going to try this one. 4 cups of vinegar to 2 cups of water to 1/3 cup salt. With no iodine, right? Himalayan sea salt has no iodine as well, for your information. And then I'm boiling my jars. I've got obviously a grapevine in my yard, so lucky me. I don't necessarily know if these things make a difference, but they're high in nutrients, so to put it at the bottom of the jar is good. We all like garlic, so I'm putting garlic in there. I got a little bit of dill from my yard, so this is good. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of pickling spice that I have kicking around. And this is all I'm going to do. And then after I've done this, then I'm going to go outside and I'm going to do inventory, because my daughter's coming back with her boyfriend. My youngest daughter's coming back with her boyfriend around 5:36. And we're going to try and get the door on the shed. Her boyfriend's going to try and help me get this door made, right? And just put away the things that I won't be using that my neighbor's been giving me, right? To tidy up. And while I'm out there, I'll work on the floorboard for Andre's shed, because needless to say, people, I'm tired. But the only thing after I'm done this will be the zucchini. So depending on what time I come in, I'll probably do it. I'll probably shred the zucchini, get it all ready, do the prep work. Prep work. It has to sit overnight, like these here sat overnight with a tablespoon of salt, mix it all around. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this water, which I boiled last night before I went to bed, 4 in the morning, and I'm just going to give it a quick rinse, right? I'm boiling my jars. As soon as my jars are done, then I'm going to fill up my jars as I heat this solution, right? I'll probably put the pickling spice right into the solution, and when I pour it, just kind of go in all at one time. I'm not sure yet. And I'm going to can them, and then I'm going to go outside, and then when I come in tonight, I'm going to shred the zucchinis. I'm going to salt them, put them in the fridge, probably do the same thing tomorrow morning, right? Then go outside and work. But after that, people, I'm not going to can until after I'm done with the city. But what I am going to do is I'm going to get myself a bowl, because everything's growing in the yard, and I'm going to make, I guess you could call it a little care package for my children downstairs in terms of beans, cucumbers, you know, whatever, a couple of onions, just what I've been kind of giving away to my to a couple of my neighbors, right, here and there. So yeah, be back. Okay, people. In all the years that I've lived here, I have never seen this grape plant produce grapes like this. Never mind on this side. Like this grape plant is infested with grapes, people. It really likes, well, I'm falling into the compost here. It really likes what I did. They're like everywhere. Look at this. There's more grapes in here than on their main vine. They're like everywhere. Look at this. They're like everywhere in here, people. Oh my God. They really like this location the way look, oh my God. Oh my God, I have never seen this before, people. This is, oh my God, do you see this? They're not ripe yet, but oh my God. They love this compost box. This one doesn't even have that amount of grapes. Anyway, I'm just picking off some grape leaves here for my canning, right? I'm going to show you in a minute, but I wanted to show you that. I'm trying to tell her that this camera just all of a sudden takes on a life of its own, and she needs to pay attention to that.
Hopefully it doesn't act like that while I'm using
Well,
it.
if it
Seems
does,
fine
you have
for
to
now.
turn it off, 'cause otherwise. So anyway, what I'm doing here, people, is because the jars are not completely full, right? I only got 4 jars here, right? And because they're not completely full, right? I find that preserving grape leaf is actually quite good. Well, because at the end of the jar, when I'm done, nobody eats the grape leaf at the bottom, but I do, right?
I think I've eaten it before.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like
good.
you. I tend to eat like
I like
everything.
the garlic. I like the garlic. I like the dill.
I eat the peppers that you put in there. The hot peppers, I suck on those too.
I'm not putting peppers in this one. I'm putting more garlic. So anyway, what I'm doing here, just to fill in a little bit of gaps, is I went out, as you can see, I showed you the grapes that are growing out there. I mean, that's just like the mother load of grapes. Right? And I'm just kind of rolling them up, and then just kind of putting them in here, just one to eat. And whether it helps to keep the pickles crisp, I don't know. But for nutritional purposes, grape leaf is very nutritional. I don't like grape leaf rolled stuff. Now, maybe I wasn't doing it right the last time I did it. But this, I can see myself eating it. And so a few more of those in there is not going to be a problem. It is what it is, people. It's just, it is what it is, right? So anyway, I'm just showing you that if you like grape leaf and you have access to it, you can do that. And you can put it in your pickles right along with it being at the bottom for the purpose of to help keep it crisp. But you can also do it for the extra nutrition, because even if you didn't eat it right out of the jar, you can take it out of the jar, slice it into thin little pieces, and then put it in your stir fry. Right? So that's just kind of like, that's just something that kind of manifested only because I needed to fill in some gaps. It wasn't because I was being smart when I knew what I was doing. It just makes sense, right? So, you know, you could put this in your fried rice, or you could just eat it straight up from the jar. So anyway, I just needed my daughter to help with that. So then I'm going to put this one here, and then what I'm going to do is take, now, I'm trying to make these ones much more tangy and spicy with the bite. I'll let you guys try them in about a month from now, just to give me an idea. So I'm going to put in about a teaspoon here. I don't know.
What is that?
I had one in here.
Pickling spice? Is that pickling spice? That's pickling
That's
spice?
just pickling spice, yeah. Because I want to make them
smell it?
spicy. You like that smell?
I do.
Exactly. My kids like their pickles spicy, so like I said, I'm
We
not a
grew
very
up on
good
pickles.
pickle maker,
I
right?
love pickles.
I don't have a...
There was this one batch you made though that was really good, so hopefully it's the
Yeah,
same
well,
batch
don't
you're making.
ask me what recipe I used for that one. Right. So I'm just putting in a teaspoon or so in each one. Fair amount of garlic, dill from the yard, and then there's this liquid, right? I don't know where the strainer is, but anyway, Here's the liquid. And then after this, I go outside, people. I start doing inventory out there. Alright. So you have to let them sit for about a month, Shemaine, before you can eat them, because the vinegar has to penetrate the...
How much vinegar did you already put in them?
What's that?
How much vinegar did you already put in them?
In this, I'm trying to make them more tangy, so I did 4 cups of vinegar to 2 cups of
That's
water.
in the water, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
versus 2 cups of vinegar and 2 cups of water. I've doubled the vinegar just because I know what you guys like, right? And I like it. I like them tangy too. So we're going to try it this way. And, you know, it's pretty straightforward. You know, I think making pickles is kind of like to your taste buds. And you just got to figure out what's the best. This jar is a little short, but that's okay because I'm going to let you guys eat these in a month from now. So you are my little taste testers, right? Okay. That's it. And then we're going to can it for 15 minutes in a hot water bath. And then now I'm going to go appease the city people. Okay, so as you can see, just got out of the canner. So what I'm going to do in about a week from now, sorry people, is we're going to open up a jar and we're going to taste it and see if that's the sourness of it that they like, right, in terms of a dill pickle, right? So, and then, because in about a week from now, I'm going to have more cucumbers, and I'd like to can, you know, 2 or 3 more times this amount for the winter, right? Assuming how many cucumbers I get, right? So hold on.